Fellow marine engineers, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sea Trade Maritime Logistics Middle East. This session is hosted by the Institute of Marine Engineering, Science and Technology. My name is Nikhil Idnani, and I am the Honorary Secretary of the Institute's UAE branch. Engine room operational excellence is what we will be discussing today for the next 60 minutes. Helen has warned me it's going to go no more than 60 minutes. So we look forward to your active participation. Now, these are the points, the major factors which I have listed on the screen, which contributes towards engine room operational excellence. Can anybody, those of you who are not talking, tell me if there is anything missing in these points? What point is missing? Have I missed something that contributes towards engine room operational excellence? Ha ha ha! Ajay, why are you saying that? Absolutely, the human factor. You are a byproduct of it. We all are, Ajay. Absolutely. It was a purposely left out. What do you say, Sami? Important, is it not? Very important. So, Ajay hit the nail on the head. The human factor, the people. Yeah? So, that's something which I hope for the foreseeable future continues to remain on ships. The propeller is not there. The propeller is not there just as a showpiece. The whole idea, in my opinion, of engine room operational excellence is to ensure that the propeller is turning at the speed that it should turn on. Okay, that was my own silly take on it. All right, the way it's going to work, we're going to have five speakers. They will speak for 5 minutes each, similar to the session prior to this, if you were there, and all five of them for 5 minutes each, and then thereafter we'll open the floor for questions. So please do contribute your questions and your comments. Please don't feel shy. We are here to have a good time. At the same time, have some knowledge sharing. This is our diverse expert panel who will be sitting with us on stage shortly. So please allow me to introduce our first speaker, Alessio Guisto. Alessio, did I get your name right? Where are you, sir? There you are. Mr. Guisto. Alessio Guisto heads digital solutions as a regional sales manager in Acceleron, with a focus to supporting owners and operators to maximize the potential of their installations, achieving higher operational efficiency with lower fuel consumption while meeting environmental regulations. Alessio began his career at Wärtsilä in 2005 as production planner and production manager for four-stroke engines. In 2009, he joined ABB Turbocharging as sales engineer and later became service manager. In 2014, he moved to Voestalpine, HPM Italia, Special Steel as branch and sales manager. Since 2022, he's heading the digital solutions team as a regional sales manager in Acceleron. Alessio holds a master's degree in management engineering from the Padua University, Boston University. Ciao, Alessio. Welcome to Dubai and on the stage.
Thank you, Nikki, for the nice introduction. So first of all, for Acceleron name, it could be sound new to you, but basically we are a 100-year company. So briefly, we started more than 100 years ago producing turbochargers. Some of you may know us as BBC, the old Brown Boveri company. We then became ABB Turbocharging in 1989, and then lately we started in expanding our portfolio. So back in 2017, we acquired this Swiss engineer company named Tecomar. We then were spun off from ABB, and we became Acceleron in 2022. And then still continuing in acquiring new companies on the market, we bought OMT, which is a leading supplier for injectors on the two-stroke engines. And then lately, last year, the last but not the latest, buying TNM. It's a Canadian company specializing in voyage optimization and weather routing. Little bit of myself, as Nikki already introduced, I have different positions in different companies, so spanning from Wärtsilä, ABB, and lately as regional sales manager in Acceleron. So who we are a company present worldwide. We are currently in more than 100 locations, talking about turbocharger service. Also here in Dubai, we have a branch office, and with an install base of almost 200,000 turbochargers running around the world. So it's not only about turbochargers anymore. As we already said, we are here today because now we are expanding more and more in other components of the engines, so namely the fuel injection systems and the digital solutions. Today we will talk about digital solutions for the engine room. So it's a broad portfolio that we are building by internally developing our competencies, but also acquiring on the external market know-hows. And as you can see, we can span from the engine optimization up to the hull and propeller, as we named it before, to the voyage optimization, CII, emissions, etc. Today we will talk about engine optimization. So what is it? The name of our product is Tecomar Expert Engine. It's being used currently on more than 10,000, almost 13,000 engines worldwide. The software can work either with the two-stroke, four-stroke engines, and with all the major engine builders brands that are available on the market. Just for you to know, it has been chosen by Hyundai as the official service tool for troubleshooting on the engines. And this is just a snapshot of the customers that we are working with. Some of them are here today with us. So as you can see, we are there in almost every merchant and passenger segment on the market. So in the end, what does it do, this software? It helps in saving fuel consumption up to 4%, in preventive engine issues, so we can start talking about sort of predictive maintenance and getting transparency. Before, I heard a comment regarding the engine tuning, the engine optimization, and yeah, this is actually what we are going to talk about. So how does it work briefly, and then later on, if you have questions, we can deep dive it. We take the shop test of the engines. We build the reference curves on the engines based on it, and then we acquire the data from the engine. In this case, you see the open diagrams for the pressure curves. Then the software does normalize, does the so-called ISO correction for both the real engine parameters in real working life and the shop test, and it does combine both, so you can see in just one screen how it should be and how it is going. It does then do, it doesn't run, so I can talk a lot. So it does automatically do correlation between the data to understand if the data of the engine are plausible or not with each other, and then it quantifies on each and every subsystem of the engine how much fuel and by how much you can decrease the thermal load on the engine. And then you can get historical trends through the time by using the software in the different subsystems, how much you are close or far away from the ideal condition. The last slide is just for you to show this is a real case that we someone before from the audience asked, but do you actually measure when you say that you can save this and that amount of fuel with your system? This is a real case, not done by us, by a tanker operator. They have been using our software for 1 year. This is an MC main engine. And as you can see, there is the total amount of CO2 saved with the relevant amount of EUAs, and the 3.6% of saving on the fuel. So basically, in some slide before, there was an ROI calculation on the different technologies that are proposed on the market. In our case, it was just 9 days. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Grazie, Alessio. I made 2 points from, I took away 2 points from your presentation, yeah? From the Acceleron history, you mentioned in 1952 the first ship with a turbocharged two-stroke engine was the Dorothy Maersk. So I was chief engineer at Maersk Line. And although you can see this white hair on my head, I can tell you it was much later than 1952. The other interesting point that I noted was your Tacoma Expert Marine Engine module, which is evaluating the performance of the main engine. So as we are all aware, you can only manage what you measure. So I'm sure that's a very successful tool that you have. Now we're talking a lot about engines. So the main engine is the heart of a ship. The main engine is the heart of a ship. And to take care of the heart, you need a heart surgeon. But to take care of the main engine, you need a chief engineer. And we are privileged to have with us a serving chief engineer from Bari Ship Management. And I do thank Bari, wherever Bari is. I saw Abdullah here, but he's gone. And I'm so glad you can join us, Same. I would like to make a little introduction of you on Same Razak. So Same Razak is a marine chief engineer with over 20 years of experience in the tanker industry. He began his career with Vela International Marine in 1997 and has spent the past 12 years serving with Bari on the VLCC fleet. Holding a bachelor's degree in marine engineering technology and STCW Class 1 Certificate of Competency, Chief Engineer Officer. Every time I say that, I don't know about you guys, the hair raises on my back. He is committed to excellence in his current role. Same manages machinery systems and personnel while upholding company operational guidelines and planned maintenance programs. Today, Chief, you take the staircase up to the stage and not down to the bilges. Welcome.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's truly an honor to be here today among such distinguished professionals in the maritime industry. I would like to begin by extending my sincere thanks to Mr. Nakil, to the Institute of Marine Engineering, Science and Technology, and also for Bahri, my company, the company I'm representing here today. Thanks for giving me this opportunity to stand before you and share my experience with you. Bahri, this is where I belong. For the past 12 years, as Mr. Nakil said, I'm working as chief engineer on the VLCC fleet. I'm so proud to be part of Bahri remarkable journey during the last few years, growing from strength to strength and becoming one of the leading companies, not just regionally, but actually globally. In the next few minutes, I will try briefly, I am allowed only for 5 minutes, to share with you how at Bahri we are work towards achieving the engine room operational excellence as a key pillar in our pursuit to remain a true giant in the maritime industry. In Bahri, we believe, and in my eyes as a chief engineer for almost 2 decades now, that the engine room operational excellence is actually a cornerstone in the maritime industry, ensuring the efficient, safe, and sustainable operation of the vessel. It involves optimizing the entire engine room process. And for those who sailed before, there is a lot of processes in the engine room, actually, such as fuel management, power generation and power management, several types of maintenance, lots of processes can be optimized in the engine room. By enhancing and by utilizing the latest technologies, automation, predictive maintenance, this is not only reducing the operational cost, actually, which is very important, in our industry, but also it aligns with the international maritime regulation, and it also maintains the sustainable operations, and also it's good for the, not actually reducing, minimizing the environmental impact, which is also a very important factor. In brief, this is the key elements for achieving the engine room operational excellence. I started with the preventive and protective maintenance. The photo here is reflecting our planned maintenance system, MIPS, which compiles everything that we need on board as onboard team management and also for the ship's manager ashore. Everything already in this system. Schedule maintenance, spare parts inventory, budget even, ship's certificates. So everything, compiled in one system to ensure just a smooth and safe operation of the vessel. Also using of condition monitoring, and also we are integrating the predictive maintenance, which nowadays very important in our industry, like using of the vibration analysis. So we are also integrating the same in our MIPS and our planned maintenance system. Energy efficiency, fuel optimization. I think that previous team and now we talked a lot about how to optimize and how to actually to monitor our fuel consumption. Monitoring of the fuel consumption nowadays is not just like what it used to be before. We are monitoring our fuel consumption 24/7. Continuous monitoring of fuel consumption, and actually by complying with SAEMP, the Ship Energy Efficiency, Ship Energy Management Plan, we are trying to always optimize the performance of the vessel and the fuel optimization. Automation and digitalization, this is another very important factor to us now as a seafarers. This photo showing one of our vessels from departure port till it arrives at its destination. And the bottom graph is fuel consumption, how we are monitoring the fuel consumption continuously. We are monitoring the fuel consumption for evaluating the vessel performance. For those who sailed long time ago, performance used to be just collecting data for submission to ship's manager or for the class or for the port state control. But now we are taking the performance to next level. We are evaluating performance continuously, and deviation, if any, will be immediately addressed, analyzed by in-house department, performance department, and of course we will take the necessary action if needed. Safety and risk management, recognizing how important safety, not only the ship's safety, the crew safety, and by improving the safety culture on board, we have a lot of initiatives, and we are using BBS. We are using everything possible to enhance the safety culture on board, recognizing that it's a very important element, and also safety actually one of our sustainability pillars in Bahrain. Regulatory compliance. These two photos here actually showing how we are complying with the latest, with the IMO regulation, using ballast water treatment system, using the white box for the oily water separator, and also the proper documentation. Proper documentation for us on board is very, very crucial. Nowadays, having accurate and correct document on board is really, really important for achieving the engine room operational excellence. Finally, the last two elements is the human factor. This is a factor which was missing from Mr. Naikil's list. So this is the human factor. We are really giving huge attention to the crew on board by onboard training and also training ashore in recognized institutes. Environmental sustainability, this efficient waste heat recovery system, and bilge water and sludge management. Finally, this is the benefits we are gaining from the engine room, from achieving the engine room operational excellence. We have clean, tidy, reliable, sustainable engine room. All the machinery is ready for operation. The engine room operational excellence actually is essential nowadays. It's mandatory. It's not really. It's not an option anymore. It's essential nowadays for our maritime industry. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Sameh. Fantastic, fantastic. I commend your remark on, you said engine room operational excellence is the cornerstone of the maritime industry. Fantastic, fantastic. Bravo. And thank you for describing the key elements of engine room operational excellence, including safety and, of course, the personnel. All right. Only the wearer knows where the shoe pinches. Okay. From one ship owner to another. Now, for the uninitiated here in the room, the main engine is installed in the engine room along with other machinery which supports the ship. The ship is a floating city. I always say a ship is a floating city. You need, of course, the main engine to run the ship, and then you have other auxiliary machinery for it to be running. And some of the engine rooms, like Sameh's and the next speakers, is probably a sizable portion of this room. Yeah, and our next speaker, he manages 12 such large ships. I pulled out from your website out of the 90 of your ships. And may I now introduce Mr. Ajay Verma, who's technical director at ASIAD. Ajay is a mechanical engineering graduate, followed with post-graduation in marine engineering and postgraduate diploma in materials management. He is an ex-chief engineer, motor and steam. Oh my God, that's like cat's whiskers. With more than 33 years of working experience, it includes 17 years at sea, sailing on LNG, LPG, chemical crude tankers, and rest at shore industries, managing various positions in India, Japan, Malaysia, and Oman. He has vast experience in the supervision of new building vessels of all types, sale and purchase of vessels, maintenance, repair, modification, overall docking, survey, and various retrofits. Presently based in Oman as technical director for the whole ASIAD assets fleet. And all the way from Muscat, we have Ajay Kumar Verma. Welcome, Ajay.
Good afternoon, everyone. First, I'd like to thank Nikhil and all the organizing team for having me here. In fact, when first I got a message from Nikhil with the subject, so I got excited. Because normally in conferences, we don't discuss about engine room, where we spent half of our life. And even now, we continue monitoring vessel sales. We follow all the procedure, but all eyes are always on the engine room. And you, for any reason you call, thanks to all the captains, but the moment you call captain, and his first response will be, let me talk with the chief engineer. Secondly, I was very impressed with the panel, because we had the system providers, we had the front man who is operating all the systems, we had following colleagues who are helping us to maintain all these systems, to have operational excellence, and we are the hungry person sitting ashore asking for more from each and everyone. So that is our position. I am not representing any company or any product, but I have put all the bullet points, because what all is being provided and what all is done is not a full stop. We have to go for more. And operational excellence has to go ahead every day. So I have put it in the stage-wise with bullet points. And later on in the question answer sessions and discussion, we'll go into more deep in details. So first, what is operational excellence in the engine room? It is not just maintaining a standard. It is maintaining little more than what a standard we require. Every day we do some improvement, but it has to be continuous and it has to grow. What all feedbacks, what all we are following on board, we have to think what we can get next out of that. We have to be more reliable, more safe. We don't want any LTI on board ships. We want sustainability, everyone is discussing the growth. We want all the modern technologies integrated along with the present systems. Everyone is discussing about automation, everyone is discussing about AI, everyone is coming out with some solution which can make vessel slide. But still we have to integrate, because engineering excellence, the human person someone has to review and follow it. And all these knowledges, you can't implement any one technique, any one system for your growth. You have to make a systematic plan, how you can amalgamate, how you can integrate all this to make one. Now operational excellence, once we discuss, then next stage comes where we have to measure it also. So I have given some matrices. The three matrices are here on board, which every time, every day almost we are calculating. One is the efficiency, second one is the maintenance and repair, and third one is safety and environment. Out of these, we can come out, even if one, forget about all the energy operations and all, one accident happens in the vessel, maybe minor or major, that spoils your performance excellence. You allow any system on board, but safety is also paramount. You have to include all these. But it comes with a lot of challenges. And what all challenges it can have, I have put some bullet points here also. The biggest challenge, which the point you missed and I highlighted that time, is the human factor. Nowadays, with all these new advancement coming in, getting a trained crew is biggest problem. The biggest problem we have is to get trained crew who can handle all these systems. When I am speaking here, I'll tell you from our company, Asiat, we have got almost 50 masters and chief engineers who had been invited to Muscat for 4 days, and they are getting all these specialized training. Then we will have to follow their performance also after the training done, once they go on board. And we had planned 6 such sessions in Muscat, when 50-50, a group of 50 senior officers and engineers come over there, and they get training under the eyes of superintendents and technical managers. The systems what all the companies are providing, Tecom are very simple system we are using on few of our vessels. But most of the systems are very complicated, not easy to maintain. And sometimes it becomes big difficulty for chief engineers and the other ship staff with whom chief engineer is working with. They don't understand or follow because we need to know the importance of that system. Maintenance part, we have planned maintenance system, part of predictive maintenance also. But still, if you will go and check, you see maybe 30 to 40% are reactive maintenance, where you go, start, you do some maintenance and move away. That will never help in the operational excellence. We have to adapt all these changing requirements also. Every day we are getting new compliances, new requirements, and now MEPC 83 is the buzzword. Everyone is confused, everyone is lost that which way to move. Still, we have to move on along with that. Now, how we will achieve? Now, we know our KPI, how we can evaluate it. We know what are the challenges, but still we have to achieve it. For that point, the biggest responsibility comes to us, the shore side. Because if the leadership is not correct, then definitely it can never be looked at the ground. So our expectations, our instructions, our requirements must be very, very clear to vessel. Second is, with this growth, we need systematic interventions, like the example which I said that we have got 50 senior officers, engineers in Muscat. Apart from their regular job, we have called them as an intervention and putting them on training so that they can improve the system. And third is the psychological safety barrier. That is the biggest. The resistance to change, resistance to adopt, and to follow new procedures, maybe fair, maybe whatever. So we need to take care of that. Best practices, I don't need to read. We all know, because theoretically best practices everyone knows. Follow goes to individual. So I move to next slide. Now all this, when we do, every day is a learning option. And how we learn from our operations. We have all the data available, the PMS system, the audits, the incident reports, near misses. That has to be reviewed and analyzed. The most important thing, we need to establish a just culture. Very, very fancy word, but that is one of the very important aspects nowadays if you want to extract work and results from all your staff. Structure debriefs after every operations and after actions that can be taken as a reviews. And we must encourage the curiosity among all our staffs, be it ship staff or office staff. If you are not curious, definitely you will not be liking the changes anytime. And leading for excellence, we had one question that time for 10% of fuel saving in your last session. And here is a picture. This retrofit we had done last year on one of our 400,000 tonner VLOC. And this is giving 10% saving. So this is one of the, this is not test, this is being used. So already in practice. So leading for excellence, how we can go with this? This all, as I said, starts from the leadership. Every day we get all these new compliance requirements, but that we should not follow as we have to comply with it. We have to have commitment to comply to it. Then only we can move ahead. Investing in a competence, resilience, and technology, this all we'll have to invest together, discuss together. Automation and digitalization, you cannot stay away from it. It is call of the day. Advanced propulsion systems and the effective technologies. Remote monitoring, this also has become very, very important. In fact, you have spent 20 years, so you must have seen the changes. At one time, chief engineers, or maybe when you were on board, if any problems used to come on board, we were left alone to sort it out. Nowadays, when the problem comes, the office knows first. before anyone starts working on it. so so that is the control. And so many times this control becomes interference also from all the sides. But anyway, this is this also we will have to integrate. And the last, we have to bring the change of shifting to alternative fuels, all these new, be it dual fuel, be it LNG, be it ammonia, be it methane, be it biofuel. Ship staff getting confused that what all this is happening. And the problem is, we get so many assurances from everywhere, but nothing has been tried out. That was also a question, has it been tried out? I was in a session yesterday and we were discussing about air lubrication system. And I saw a very good question came when from the makers of and providers of air lubrication system, that this is a very good solution. We are making all this savings also. But why till date this solution has never been offered through a shipyard or not been tried from a shipyard? We took this matter to shipyard also, and shipyard says we will provide our own solution now. So anyway, that's all the points which we will be discussing in our next session. And I like to end from here. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Ajay, for your impactful presentation, obviously from a conscientious ship owner. From a ship owner standpoint, clearly reflecting operational excellence by, as you termed it, building the right environment and a just culture. Fantastic. Right, our next speaker is Mr. Sukhvinder Singh. So, right, there he is. So Sukhvinder joined as a junior engineer in 1993 after completing mechanical engineering. Sailed the high seas till 2004 with last appointment as chief engineer with a total sea experience of 11 years. Moving ashore in 2004 as a superintendent for a tanker ownership company. Headhunted by Dry Docks World Dubai, where he served for almost 7 years in various roles, starting as a ship repair manager and then growing into various senior management roles with Dry Docks World Dubai. Transitioned back to vessel management as a technical manager for a fleet size of 25 vessels for a period of 3 years with a team of superintendents under his leadership. Galton's Worldwide Dubai office appointed him as a manager for afloat and docking department in 2018 for a period of 3 years, leading the division and being accountable towards production as well as department P&L. Currently working with JOM Engineering as technical director since 2021 and leading all the production departments under his wings with the company's strength 450 plus and growing. Sat Sri Akal ji, Sukhvinder. Welcome on board, Chief.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. So good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, panelists. Thank you very much, Institute of Marine Engineers, Middle East, for giving us this opportunity to represent here. What an amazing picture. Do you guys like bikes? Motorbikes? I used to love bikes and I still do. And I don't know how many of you know about Royal Enfield from India. And when you sit on it, the sound which it gives, the single cylinder 350 cylinder cc engine, it used to deliver that sound of dug, 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 dug. And standing on a traffic light, nobody could avoid looking back at you because that was the power you were sitting on. And imagine my first ship when I joined, I saw a marine engine. And this bike was not even an iota close to a marine engine. And that's the pride with which I joined the ship and started working at every stage and every part of engine room, as everybody said, that the heart belongs into the engine room and the heart belongs in the engine, in the propulsion. It reminds me of a story when I just joined my first ship, and there was an oiler on board who was approximately the age of my father. And at that time, one of the Bollywood actresses, Zeenat Aman, was very famous, and my dad used to like her a lot. And we started sailing from the port, and the previously overhauled engines were supposed to be tested during the voyage. And the oiler came to me, and I was collecting few instruments to check the peak pressures and indicator card and all that. He came to me, and we run the engine and took on 90% load. And he says, Panch Saab, that is the junior engineer, fifth engineer, no need to worry. I said, how do you say? He says, the engine is sounding like Zeenat Aman, Zeenat Aman, Zeenat Aman. Can you not hear it? So that's where the excellence was introduced by that oiler, and of course the trainings which we were given. And that's where we started working towards our career growth. And that's where the shore-based industries kept on evolving and creating engines which are part of the Guinness Book of World Record. So it's amazing that how the introduction went from a simple two-stroke engine to a much more complicated engines which were developed worldwide and right now are in operation. So UAE is a country which is very inspiring. I think all of us get inspired by that. So Jome Engineering, we believe also in excellence. We started operations roughly 10 years back plus, and we are into ship repair, and we believe in giving the best to our clients. And that's where we do not look at products, but we look at how we can provide a solution towards the ship owners, the managers, and to the seafarers in the end who feel safe when anything is worked upon by Jome Engineering. We perform operations and maintenance on two-stroke engines, four-stroke engines, and the maritime community and many workshops here do similar jobs. So there's nothing great which we do. Yes, we try to give excellence in whatever we do. And we also work on certain areas. If you look at this picture, I never heard, and chief engineers here would have never heard 30 years back that you would have a VIT on an auxiliary engine. And that's one of the interesting projects which we did last year, liner measurement in situ and various other automation jobs working on turbines, which was a gap here. We started looking at how can we provide the gap areas as a solution. And then we also do reconditioning of components. Why reconditioning of components is important? Because it gives ship owners, the seafarers, the chief engineers, a feeling of confidence that yes, whatever is running, whatever is operating, whatever is rotating, reciprocating, or oscillating. Only chief engineer sitting here would understand the oscillating part. Guys, remember oscillating, which was a very important subject during marine engineering, and which bearings were the critical ones. So we started looking at excellence as to how can we provide better excellence in our field of repair. So company hugely invested into a 3D printing machine which can print stainless steel, alloys, etc. The machine should be arriving shortly to our facility. When the vessels are waiting for certain critical components to arrive and to be repaired because either the maker is not making them anymore or the long lead times, we will deliver the products here on the 3D printing machine and in the shortest possible time so that the ships can sail out and make some money so that everybody is doing what they are supposed to do. And this is another wonderful feature. We do reconditioning of components. Chief, you will understand, Mr. Vijay will understand, and many of us sitting here, that there are various kinds of reconditioning, but we do the best because we believe in excellence. Laser cladding is one of the best form of repairs of exhaust well spindle seats, the spindles, and the piston crowns. Because unlike a top layer, which was the original form of repair, this becomes as strongly bonded as the parent metal. Now, as everybody put forward, that manpower plays a very important role in the latest developments, reflecting to the picture 2 of the presentation, where the award-winning Guinness Book of World Record engine is there. So see the development, and especially the people who sailed 30 years back would have known that how much development has happened, and Jome realized this gap. And without even thinking about it, Jome set up a Jome Maritime Academy in Dubai Maritime City, where we provide ship staff for training for a simulator, which these are the live pictures from the simulator, where you can go and attend the various automation related control systems and run the engines yourself, adjust the peak pressures, and most beautifully the draw card. I saw one draw card here recently, and you could vary the draw card and vary the timing and actually see the difference which it makes on the engine. And that provides a great platform for us to also look at various other programs which we will be introducing soon, which will fill up the gaps for training of seafarers, not only based at sea, also for seafarers who come ashore and do not have enough knowledge to understand and run their ships. So we are working in progress. And AI, as everybody talked, this is a very important aspect where everybody thinks of. And somebody talked earlier about data management. So we are brainstorming, not in providing a solution, but looking at that data, that raw data being converted to a smart data. And that's the back-end work which we are still thinking of, how we can produce and give better results and also improve the performance of the engines. And operational energy and the efficiency of the energy systems plays a very important role. We are working with a partner to provide optimized solution for certain equipments which are probably running at a higher load, which might not need that kind of a load at that point of time. For example, engine room blowers. Definitely maintaining a positive pressure in the engine room, but sometimes they do run at 100%, but the chances are that they are not operating or not required to be running at that RPM. Also, we have in partnership with Nakashima, and we will be providing, and we have already solutions for propulsion systems, the propeller, the hubcaps, and the efficient rudders. So please feel free to contact us. If there's anything, we would be very much obliged to be of service. Thank you.
Thanks, Sukhminder. In the interest of time, I will not pass my comments. I will introduce straight away our next speaker, Mr. Gagandeep Katiyal. What happened here? Oh. Where's your presentation? Hey? Helen, I think you missed out a presentation. I don't know how you put up a outdated. Do you are carrying it on your stick? You were asked to carry it on a stick too for situations such as these. Gagan was born and raised in New Delhi, and he embarked on a journey that transformed the maritime industry. After earning an MBA from the Indian Institute of Planning and Management, Ahmedabad in 2014, he joined his father's business, starting from the ground up, dismantling truck engines before progressing to four-stroke industrial engines. With his hands-on experience spanning power plants across 12 states in India, 2014 to 2018, he realized the need for value-driven solutions in the sector. Recognizing the overlap between four-stroke power plants and marine engines, he moved to Dubai, determined to disrupt the market with innovative sourcing and supply chain solutions for marine engine components. Today, his company, Avid Marine, operates 4 warehouses, employing 25 professionals, and is on track to achieve $10 million in revenue by 2025. while I welcome you on board, I was hoping in the meantime you organize that the presentation. Well, you didn't carry it on memory stick?
No, I don't have it on a memory stick, but does that help? I will find out. Nikhil, it's okay, or else we move forward without the presentation.
I would say this. You can tell us a little bit about your business. Obviously, not your business, but as you can see, we have a diverse panel. So from a supplier's point of view, we are talking about engine room operational excellence. Of course, I already listed some questions, but maybe you want to brief us on whatever you can. How do you contribute towards engine room operational excellence?
That's what I said. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Nikhil and MRS, to have a supplier on stage to tell the ship owners and the operators what role a supplier can have in engine room operational excellence. Okay, let me introduce myself first. I am Gagandeep Katyal, director at Avid Marine. Avid Marine is a spare parts supplier located in Dubai Maritime City. We have 4 warehouses across UAE, and we keep proper stock of specific 4-stroke engines and some 2-stroke engines to deliver them whenever required. Okay, now moving further. The topic of the hour, engine room operation excellence. I'll be only talking about 2 key aspects from a supplier point of view, which is time and knowledge. Now, time. In marine industry, time is money. Time, I'll refer, is to save the downtime. Just a second, as I don't have the presentation there, maybe I miss out some points, so I have to be here. Okay. What we plan is that we keep a strategy stock of all the spare parts required to run an engine in stock in UAE, which can be delivered to you very next second. That's our role. Immediate dispatch, again, having it right now and sending it immediately, that's also matters. So you're saving a lot of time. You know, if you even have to wait for 3 days to get the parts from somewhere, it's a loss for the company. Also, another way we can save the time is the exchange programs, which we have insisted a lot with many of the customers. Also, sir, Ajay sir, and our very esteemed chief engineer from Bari will understand. We offer exchange programs, and also the other suppliers and the stockists should do it. Whereas your vessel is calling on a port, you want maybe a top overhauling of your engines. You don't want to spend that much of time. So there should be solutions that you land your units and you swap it with the reconditioned units. This saves you time. This saves you a lot of time. And especially for the auxiliary engines, I think you can do it while sailing. You know, that's again how you can save time, and that's money. Second key aspect is knowledge. Knowledge, first I'll say knowledge of the right part which has to be supplied, and the execution, the right execution in your engine. For example, an engine from 99 to 2014 or 96 to 2014 will have a lot many executions, but when you get an engine inquiry from the ship owner or managers, which they want right now, but you don't know which execution has to be applied in the same engine, you get stuck. And that's where a wrong spare part supply happens, you know. For example, a seat pocket or seat is of two versions. The supplier doesn't know which version it has to be. Yeah, you lose a lot much time on those things. Now, 1 second, please. Again, missing on the points. Okay. Now, next thing is what a supplier mission should be in terms of the topic operational excellence for the engine room, of course. You know, uh, again, as the engine should be running smoothly and strong and efficient, right? But how? That's with the right coordination of the ship management and the right suppliers. Knowledge, as we said, we also believe in sharing the knowledge. We also host events, seminars with IMRS to exchange the knowledge we have with us. And yeah, one supplier should always work on personally with the companies to be a trusted supplier and to understand better about their fleet. Thank you, Nikhil, once again. Thank you, Anil. And yeah, that's what I can do without the slide.
No, really, really. Round of applause for him. That is, I wouldn't be able to do that. So sorry on whatever, but fantastic, 10 on 10. Please take a seat. I promise to buy you a beer after this. All right, the floor is open for questions. Folks, please raise your hand. Like I said before, no silly questions, only potentially silly answers. So please share your comments, not necessarily only questions, on engine room operational excellence. If there are none, then yeah, I have one for Sukhbinder actually. Yeah. Now, you briefly touched on the advantages of laser cladding. Can you talk a little bit more about laser cladding then?
Yes, laser cladding is a process by which you fuse the coating material directly to the parent material. So instead of doing application which is chrome plating, it's like a nail polish, so which can come off or chip off. But this becomes inherent part and as strong and as hard as the parent surface, and we can machine it off to achieve the right kind of fine surface finish which is required for the reciprocating components.
Yeah. Thank you. Alessio, can you tell us what are the challenges in getting data from the engine room?
Yeah, good question. Typically, this is the main challenge because when we approach the vessels, the customers, each and every vessel is different from other ones. On the market, we can find vessels brand new, 6 months, to vessels 40 years old. And typically, you can find very different situations in terms of engine automation, vessel automation. So sometimes this is really a barrier for the end users to use these digital solutions because they don't know how to get the data out of the engine room. In this respect, there is no one solution fits all. It has to be really a consultancy approach, so studying how it is currently, the engine control room situation, and adapting the digital solutions. In this respect, you can really span from completely manual data input to completely automated solutions. And I would say, as it has been mentioned many times this morning, that here again, the human factor is really important because it could be seen as the additional job, again, on top of the chief engineer to get the data out of the engine control room. But in this respect, again, the training is really fundamental. So investing in the human capital is really mandatory for the companies to, when they decide to approach this kind of digital solutions.
Thank you. Sameh, what are the technical and management challenges that a chief engineer faces, and how does that overall affect the overall operation and safety of a ship?
Well,
Any other questions, please? Oh, after mine. Thank you. Please.
Well, we have lots of technical challenges and also management challenges nowadays. Technical challenges, as it used to be before, it's just like fuel management, environmental also compliance with the environmental, adopting the new technology, the new automation. This is also another challenge nowadays. Retrofitting, this is also retrofitting equipment. I experienced during the last few years that new vessel after just delivery, few months, not even few years after delivery, and we had to install new equipment or to modify new equipment just to comply with the new international maritime regulations. So these are most of the technical issues or technical challenges that we are really facing nowadays. Management, training, like what we mentioned before, and we talked about training, that training is really crucial now. Training, especially for multicultural crew on board, training is really very important. Communication on board, communication and communication with the ship's manager. This is also another crucial, because any miscommunication can lead to really delays, cost a lot of money. That's, I believe,
Thank you.
most of the items.
Thank you. You used the word multicultural, and then I'm attracted to the just culture that Ajay mentioned. I really like that, yeah, because fairness, I don't see it existing very often. So can you tell us how does give us an example of just culture, and how is it implemented in your company?
Yeah, just culture is learning culture, learning and adapting, and in this we need to have the organizational culture, not a individual like blame. And as you have asked specific about the company, so I can give an example, like whenever any incident or near miss report comes in, the question should not be who did it or how did it happen. The question has to be why did it happen? And then naturally during the investigations you find out the problems, you find out some certain lack of attention or some other problems which was missed out. So that has to be adapted in your organization as a gap, not for some individual who missed it out. And as per corrective actions you are going to rectify, it will include the individual's training also, but there should not be any blame culture.
No blame culture.
It has to be the organizer. Everyone is equally responsible. If something happens on engine room, I am sitting inside the office is also equally responsible and part to it. So that culture we need to develop, and that helps.
Thank you, fantastic. Gagan, you mentioned about this exchange program, right? So in case of auxiliary engines, why can't Bari buy the parts and then Mr. Sami just carries out the assembly? Example.
Okay. For example, it is possible, but there's a point that exchange program is also done to avoid surprises. For example, first, Ajay sir has the best crew who can do it on board. They have the best of the machineries to do it on board. But when they dismantle the cylinder head, the exhaust seat pocket is out of limit. Now what? You even have the best machineries to grind the pocket, but an oversized seat, that's not possible. I can only see one head shaking, that's the chief engineer, he can very well understand.
Yes.
So that's where exchange program lies. And also, this is for Asia. You know, they're a company with all those kind of resources. The customers are not the same. You know, there are ship owners with 10 vessels, 5 vessels. Okay, it's a truth that they don't invest much on the ship crew. Okay, and then don't have that much of facility to do it on board. That's where the exchange programs is a blessing to them.
We discussed about engine maintenance. So, Alessio, can you tell us what engine maintenance improvements are achieved with your solution?
Yeah, sure. This morning we talk about also AI approach and how to start moving towards the predictive maintenance, as I heard before. And in our case, for example, our solution has already been used by our customers to increase, for example, the so-called the TBO, the time between overhaul of the turbochargers. Or there is a tanker operator in Italy. He has applied with RINA for the predictive maintenance notation, and he has implemented our own software together with a vibration measurement and with Silube oil chemical analysis. And he has built a system in order to adapt the running hours when to do the overhaul of the engine. So our solution is supporting this kind of predictive maintenance, flexibilization of the overhauls of the engines.
To all three marine engineers in the center, we talk about future-proofing ships. How do we future-proof our marine engineers? Let's start off with Sameh, or you want to wait for Ajay to... Okay, Ajay can collect whoever, Ajay.
Okay, that is an interesting question. and I believe, and even I gave the hint, that all the latest technologies, automation, AI, digitalization, it all is coming, it is all, but all these can be only support. You cannot remove the engineering excellence, the engineering supervision which is required to review it, analyze, and without that you can't move on. And for that, we need to have better training facilities, and it is a responsibility of the owners first to go for any new product. They must have the field ready. You can't start a tournament without your ground ready. So that is one of the most important things. And if you can do that, if you can train, if you can convince, if you can make the main end users understand the system, it is done. That is the foolproofing.
The last, sorry, I missed you. My apologies.
No problem.
That's the last question for this afternoon.
No problem. Yes, maybe this question goes back to Ajay. As you touched the challenge of fuel under umbrella of decarbonization, which fuel is the direction to go? Can you elaborate if you have done any research or activity on that area? Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, good question. In fact, this is, I also indicated that MEPC 83, which has made everyone confused in present world. So all alternative fuels are being considered. We have LNGs also. We went for methanol, but finally we didn't buy any ship with methanol because the problem is whether it is methanol, biofuel, ammonia, the infrastructure is not ready. That is the biggest problem. The second issue is we are going with so many new buildings, and you will not believe that still we are going for with conventional engines because of the rate of return, ROR. Our commercial will never agree. No one is ready to pay any extra dollar for a better green ship. They say it is your headache. As an owner, we cannot put money for negative return. So these all are but still in our research, methanol, ammonia, LNG, if we are going for new building, fine. In later engines, many convergence is also available. I think you can be better to explain that. Most easy way is to go for biofuel, which can save you till 2030 or 2035. After that, again, you will have to look ahead what to do.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sukhbinder. Thank you, Alessio. Thank you, Sameh. Thank you, Ajay. Thank you, Sukhbinder. Thank you, Gagan, for contributing towards this fantastic discussion. I hope you, ladies and gentlemen, derive some value from this discussion. So, whichever mementos are still intact, we'll call upon the treasurer of the IMRS UAE branch to hand over tokens of appreciation. So, Sheil Cabral, the first one you can give to Alessio Guisto. Alessio, thank you very much for your fantastic. Please stand here and receive this token of our appreciation. This one's for Ajay, Mr. Ajay Kumar Verma. Congrats, Ajay. Thank you for your all the way from Muscat to come and join us here today. Same, Chief, haha! The best dressed man in the Sea Trade Maritime Logistics Middle East. Same, good to see you and thank you for joining us. Same signed off the ship recently. Thank you, Same. Watch your steps, sir. Sukhbinder Singh. Sukhbinder, thank you very much for joining in and your very vivacious presentation. Thanks, Sukhbinder. And Mr. Gagandeep Katyal. Well done, Gagan. In spite of a couple of glitches with the system, Gagan did an excellent job in presenting from a supplier's point of view. So thank you, Gagan, for your flexibility and your being quick on your feet. Okay, thanks for joining us and enjoy the rest of Sea Trade Maritime Logistics Middle East. See you next year.